Hi everyone, welcome to the series of International Communication and East Asian Affairs, Current Political and Economic Conditions. This is a course about state-society relations in China. Lecture by Jiachen Zhou, the Associate Professor from the Graduate Institute of National Development in National Taiwan University. Professor Zhou is going to dive into how the Chinese government uses various techniques and law enforcement to suppress civil society and social movements in China. In this class, you will learn about the three strategies that the Chinese government uses to sustain control over the society, and also look into the relationship between the Chinese state ideology and its civil society.
Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here to have the opportunity to discuss with you the current state and society relations in China. Before starting the class, I wanted to say a few words about myself. I am Chelsea Zhou, an associate professor in the Graduate Institute of National Development at National Taiwan University. I have my PhD from the Department of Government at Cornell University. In 2022 to 2023, I was a Fulbright visiting scholar in the Institute of East Asian Studies at UC Berkeley. I have some backgrounds in the policy circle as well. I am currently a member on Mainland China Affairs Committee of the Taipei City Government. As for my own research interests, I do comparative politics, authoritarianism, social policies, and Chinese politics. I also teach courses in these fields. The following lecture will be drawn upon from my research and teaching background. Okay, back to the course. As we all know, under the rule of an authoritarian regime, societal voices in China cannot effectively have an impact on the policymaking process. This is to say, the policy output of the Chinese government follows a top-down model where societal forces lack the power of political participation and influence. However, even under such constraints, many social actors in China still persist in navigating the situation, finding ways to survive, and challenging the authoritarian rule via various social resistance and collective actions. Given these challenges, the Chinese government has had to respond through different strategies to preemptively address potential public crises, preventing social grievances from escalating into social revolutions that could eventually jeopardize the regime's stability. In the following course, I will first provide a brief overview of the grassroots social resistance in China, and then elaborate on the strategies employed by the Chinese government to control societal forces for the purpose of maintaining political stability. More specifically, the course will be divided into the following 5 parts. First, I will use the labor protests as an example to illustrate the recent social situations in China. Second, building upon this understanding, I will analyze the Chinese government's responses and strategies. These strategies include coercive tools and co-optation tactics. The coercive tools include cracking down NGOs, the non-government organizations, and tightening the regulation of the internet opinion, including censorship. But on the other hand, China's social governance framework includes not only suppressing non-government organizations, but also utilizing potential policies to co-opt potential opposing voices under the framework of united front. At the same time, using the law, from my viewpoint, is also useful to mitigate the impact of social protests on regime stability. Moreover, recently the Chinese government found it helpful to implement a tripartite negotiation mechanism involving the worker, the government, the business sector. The benefit of this mechanism is to deflect public criticism from the government to the business sector when coping with social disputes. In addition to using the aforementioned regulations to handle increasing complex social protests, I will discuss how the Chinese government in recent years has actively shaped public support for the regime by using ideology, specifically cultivating the discourse of nationalism. In the conclusion, I will make an argument that these strategies employed by the Chinese government in response to social challenges have clear institutional roots. In other words, the rise of personalistic authoritarianism during the Xi Jinping era has led the Chinese government to prioritize establishing direct popular support and placing greater emphasis on fostering nationalist sentiments to unite the society.